in Chaos. About that, I have to apologize to a YouTuber. So before I picked my name, Stitching in Chaos, I went through a whole bunch of names. A whole bunch, like Stitching in Alaska and ADHD Stitcher. I went through a whole bunch of names and they were already taken. And that's a great thing for our community. We have so many people sharing their love of cross-stitching and of crafting. It's wonderful. When I picked Stitching in Chaos, I picked it because I'm an ADHD person, the mom of 3 boys, and our house is always chaotic. And I did not find anybody else with that name. Well, last week, I got a comment on my very first Flosstube that I ever did, and it was from a lady whose name was Stitching in Chaos. And I felt so bad. I am not here to try to step on anybody's toes. She picked her name because she started cross-stitching about COVID time, and that was the perfect name for COVID. If anyone was stitching in chaos, it was all of us during COVID, right? So I am looking at changing my Flosstube name to Katie Cat Stitching in Chaos or KC Stitching in Chaos, just to distinguish my channel from hers. Again, I wanted to apologize for that mishap. It was not intentional. So I'm here, it's August 3 today, and this is my 3rd Flosstube, and I'm super excited to be able to show you what I have been doing, what I plan on doing, and you know it's fair time, so I have some fair projects for you. This will be my first year putting something in the fair, mostly because I didn't get anything ready on time previous years, and this is the first time I've had things ready at the fair time. I'm so excited. Actually, I had things ready last year at the fair, but I forgot what date I was supposed to enter my projects, and when I checked, it was like I was supposed to enter them yesterday. It was really sad. Oh no, I missed it. But I didn't miss it this year. I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm so excited. First, I wanted to talk to you about my WhipGo projects. I have temporarily misplaced my WhipGo list. I don't know where it is, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I did in July, and I know what I'm doing in August. I just have to find it before September, and I'm sure that'll be doable. For July, my projects were Christmas and the vase with flowers that I was trying to figure out if it would still work, and then my snow dragon. So for Christmas, I was going to choose one of these angels. I had a lot of options for Christmas. I decided to choose one of these angels to do for Christmas so that my family could finally get ornaments this year. Handmade ornaments for me. I'm so excited. So the one I went with was this cardinal one, and I think she was actually like lost when I did my last Flosstube. So this is what she looks like, and I finished her. I did it, and I finished her. Well, I didn't finish her. I finished the cross stitch. So I will be finishing her hopefully sometime this month. My only problem is my mom, she's a gem, and she likes seeing my finished projects, and she doesn't mind like cleaning, and I have a hard time with that. So she has been taking my projects and gently washing them, soaking them in water and pressing down to get all the dirt out, and then she's been ironing them for me. But this crease right here in the middle won't come out. And she's ironed it, and I've ironed it, and it just won't come out. And the problem is, this is being turned into an angel, so you have to like curve it. And when you do that, this crease really shows up badly. So I'm thinking about putting some like lightweight interfacing on to see if that helps. But if you guys have any tips for getting out creases in your fabric, I could use it. So I was supposed to do a French knot for this cardinal's eye, and I did not like how it looked. It was way too big, and it looked kind of creepy to me. So I replaced it with a little bead. You can see the little bead there. And I think it went fine. So that's pretty exciting. All right, the next one I did for July was vase with flowers. Now, last time you saw this, I was kind of panicking because I realized I had not oriented the fabric the correct way. This is a really old work in progress, and I wasn't sure if I was going to continue it. Now, I did work on it. You probably can't tell, But I did all of this part here, and I worked some in this bottom corner. And this is a really complicated project. It's not confetti, but it is complicated. So I definitely do not want to put this in my unfinished objects pile. This is probably not going to be a UFO, but I have to be in just the right mood to want to stitch on this. So I filled my quota for WIPGO, and now I plan on putting this back in the drawer because it's just not what I want to stitch on right now, but I'm not giving up on it, so that's good. This is Vase with Flowers. We measured it to see if it was still going to fit on the fabric, and I'm going to have like 1/2 inch of spare fabric on the top. So that's pretty hard for finishing. I don't know how you can finish a project like that, but we're going to try. Eventually. Okay, so my next project for July for WIPGO was Snow Dragon. Last time you saw this, I had just a little bit of progress, and I have made quite a bit of progress, and I've made more progress than you think. So you can see this is opalescent fabric. You can see that the roses here are starting to come to life. You can see the neck of the dragon and even the face and the eyes and a little bit of some tail down here. I actually ripped out all of my progress before because I couldn't figure out where I was. There wasn't that much progress, and I had tried to replace some of the called for colors with specialty floss that I could no longer find because it had been a while, maybe like a year. But once I started, I just loved it. This was super, super fun to stitch. It's going to be really, really pretty. And I was worried about the dragon blending in with the white fabric, but that's not a problem because it's all backstitched in a dark backstitch line. So you're going to be able to see the dragon just fine. This will be super fun to finish. Next, I wanted to talk to you about finishes. So you saw that I finished the cardinal. I actually finished a few other things. So I made a joke about how I never stitch holiday because by the time I want to stitch it, the holiday is over. And I pulled this out as an example, and I actually finished it. I started it on the 4th of July, and I finished it on the 5th of July. This was a really fast stitch, and it was super fun. And I have no clue what I'm going to do with it. But I'll find someone to give it to. I'll find something to do with it. I might just store it until the next 4th of July. It is a small, it came with this cute Liberty Bell charm. And stitched up pretty nicely. So I hope you were able to see that. Again, I can't see the camera from this side. I'm going to have to fix that at some point. But these little white fireworks, I actually did not use the call for colors on this either. I didn't have them, honestly, in my stash. So I just picked colors that I liked. These white fireworks that I have here are supposed to be the same color as the off-white in the flag, but I didn't notice until I was already halfway through stitching, and I like them white anyway. I think it makes it a little bit more unique. So my next finish is, I'm going to call it a finish. It's almost a finish. So I finished Women Who Behave Rarely Make History. This was not fun for me. I did not enjoy this. Previously when you saw it, I had the ribbon stitched and I had, I think, most of the words stitched. And all I had to do was finish this little skull. Took me forever. Honestly, took me forever. And I don't like the way she turned out. I don't know what it is. I like the pattern. I like the picture. I didn't change anything. I just don't like my stitching, I guess. But you will see, if you're very astute, that it is not actually completely finished. So I'm supposed to backstitch the middle of the ribbon. There's a charm of handcuffs that goes on this. And the rose is supposed to have a little bit of backstitching in it. This one is going into the fair tomorrow, and it's not finished. So when I get home, I'm going to go home and finish it, and I'm going to try to turn it into a little pillow, and this will be a fair entry. But I know that I'm not going to have my pieces back until the beginning of September because our state fair in Alaska is at the end of August. And I don't want to not show you these pieces for a whole month because I finished it and I'm super excited. So instead of actually finishing it and showing it when it was finished, I'm showing it to you now. So this is my Women Who Behave Rarely Make History. If I'm being goofy and I'm holding this where you can't see it, then we will definitely put pictures up here so you'll be able to see it. I think you should be able to see it just fine. So next, I wanted to show you my fair projects. So I started showing you my fair projects with Women Who Behave. And I wanted to continue to show you my fair projects. These are some that I finished for my mom beginning of the year. And it's a whole series. So this is my leisure arts plastic canvas seasons that I converted them to cross stitch. I did them in sulky floss, and I chose which colors that I wanted, obviously, because there's not a conversion from DMC to sulky, and there wasn't a DMC anyway. It was all yarn because it was plastic canvas. So this is spring. I hope you can see that. The glass might be a little reflective. You might see my phone. This is spring. This one is summer. I actually did this last year for September, sunflower September. I'm planning to do sunflower September again, but you'll have to wait to see what project I'm going to do for sunflower September. So this is my autumn. And this is my winter. So my aunt took all 4 of these and she searched diligently to find matting and frames that would match all 4 of the pieces, and it was a trick. But she persevered. If you ask her, she'd say she prayed a lot and she got it done. All of these 4 match. They're ready to go into the fair as a set, and after the fair, they're ready to be hung on my mom's wall. So I thought I'd put them back here just in case you could see them, because this was one of the more exciting things that I had to show you. Okay, so the next thing that's going into the fair, my husband helped me finish. You've seen it before. It's the Santa sack from the World of Cross Stitch magazine. I finished the stitching. So I was able to do the back stitching on the lower half. I finished the snow, and there's these tiny little snowflakes made out of shiny floss, shiny DMC. You might be able to see it there. So my husband actually finished this bag last night. Took him like 3 hours to tie the whole thing together. It's filled with polyfill because I wanted you guys to be able to see the shape of the bag. We used this cute little gingerbread fabric for the back of it, and we used this beautiful shiny green swirly fabric, obviously, for the top and the inside. It does open up. This is supposed to be used for Christmas presents. So it's a reusable Christmas present wrapping bag, and it's super excited. There's my polyfill. He even obviously did the drawstring and everything, which was super cool. He did a really, really great job. So this is going into the fair tomorrow. And then after the fair, I'm going to actually wrap it up in Christmas present paper and ship it off to family for their Christmas. I have to ship it now, otherwise I will forget. And they won't be able to use it for Christmas, so early Christmas present. Win-win for everybody. My last fair project is this. You haven't seen this. I think I mentioned it. This is it's a really big project. It took me 8 months to do. It's on 16 count fabric. This is called Faraway Times. It was designed by a person that goes under the name of Stitch on Twitch. He used to be on Etsy, and then he got copyright infringement problems, which is going around. This is based off of the game Chrono Trigger. It was an early 90s game, and my brother and I used to play it. Well, I used to watch him play it. He was 8 years older than me, and I was kind of this bratty little sister just watching him play his video games. But we had fun. I had fun watching him. When I started this, I was going to give it to him, and I said, Steve, I'm so excited. Look what I'm doing. And he goes, that's really cool. What is that? Is that from a game? What game is that from? And I was like, oh, no. He doesn't even remember. And I said, it's from Chrono Trigger. And he goes, oh, yeah, I remember that. That was kind of fun. He didn't want my cross stitch, which is fine. He probably would have taken it and been like, hey, thanks. But it wasn't as meaningful to him as it was to me. Since I'm the one with the memories, I figured I'd keep this piece. This is my first piece that I'm keeping for myself, I think. Pretty sure. And it's going up on my wall, but first it's going into the Alaska State Fair. All of these are characters. Even this last one that looks like a bunch of rocks, that's actually the main bad guy. So I don't know how close I need to get for you guys to see this. We might just plop a picture up there for you guys to see it. But it's super cool. There were over 110 colors in this project, which is a lot of colors, let me tell you. All right. That's all the projects I have for the fair this year, which is a whole bunch more than I've ever had before since I've never had any projects in the fair. So I'm excited. I wanted to talk about what I'm doing for WIPGO in August. So you have seen that I'm a little bit more geeky. I do enjoy video games and books and a whole bunch of things. If you've heard about the game Legend of Zelda, you probably know that there's a new one out this year. Unfortunately, this year was the year we decided that playing video games probably isn't what's best for our family. It takes time away when we should be doing other things. So I'm no longer playing video games, but I still enjoy video game kind of things. So I got this pattern on Etsy. It's called SHEIKAH symbol. I think that's what it's called. There's two different ways that they've said to stitch it, which is orange and blue with all of its normal colors, or you can stitch it all in one color, and I really liked their one color idea. So hopefully you'll have a picture somewhere of the pattern. It's from Etsy. I'm doing it on this black Aida 16 count fabric, and I'm shooting myself in the foot here because y'all know how hard it is to work with this shiny floss. But this is E3843, and it's super shiny, and it is going to be amazing. And my brother will love it. I know this for a fact. This is one piece that he will thoroughly enjoy. So I'm super excited to stitch this for him. This is my WIPGO project for August. Well, one of the two. So I'm going to get that started here pretty quick. My next WIPGO project is an actual whip. That's a new start. This one has a really funny backstory. So one year for Christmas, I looked at my husband and I said, husband, every year I ask for cross-stitch things. Every year. And I have not received a cross-stitch Christmas present from you, like, ever. And he looked at me and he said, well, that's because I don't know what you want. You're too picky. I don't know what cross-stitch thing to get you. And I looked back at him and I said, dear, I have a wish list. I said, I don't want anything big. I just want a small, easy-to-do project that I can just have fun doing, that I can know that you gifted me. And so he went online and he went onto my wish list and he got me the most difficult, most complicated, longest, biggest project that he could find. This is Starry Night by Van Gogh. And it's a big one. It's a big one. And it's got confetti everywhere. And it's miserable. But he gave it to me. You know, that was probably like 3 years ago. And I'm still fussing about it. I love him. And I love that he thought to get me a cross-stitch project. And it's a really pretty one. It was on my wish list for a reason. I just wanted something easy. And this is not easy. So this is the progress that I have on it right now. You can see it's small progress, but it's kind of hard to tell, but there are probably 15 colors in this project already. This is a very big project, and I'm going to be working on it for a while. It's not big size-wise. Honestly, I probably have a lot more projects that are bigger size-wise. But the color changes, the confetti, the intricacies of it, it's a big project. I did really good with this one. Look, all my floss is in this box. Ha! And it's organized. And it's beautiful. These beautiful blues and greens. It's gorgeous. You know Starry Night with Van Gogh? It's a beautiful piece. So this will be one of my fun challenges to work on for August. My next project that I wanted to talk to you about are my regular works in progress. So you guys should know, this is my third Flosstube. I have a dedicated Saturday project. And right now, my dedicated Saturday project is Thy Word from Leisure Arts, or Leisure Arts. I don't know which way to say it. You saw it last time. This time, I've made quite a bit of progress. I went and did most of the top for this picture here. I filled in the place by the scissors. I've started this teacup. I actually lost my ecru thread for a while, but all of this empty space is ecru, so next month you should see a lot more progress. For working on it only one day a week, this is not that bad. So remember, this is a gift for my mother. We're going to turn it into the front of a purse for her to enjoy for her Christmas present. And she's actually here watching my Flosstube, so it's not very much of a surprise, but she's super excited about it and she keeps cheering me on, so that's pretty fun. That was, again, Thy Word from Leisure Arts. Oh, and I did the little flowers on the little pin cushion here. So, the next whip I have, the final, it was a mystery stitch along, a mystery sal. The final release came out 2 days ago. It was awesome. I was super excited to see it, but I'm like 5 months behind still, so it didn't really matter that much, only that it helps seeing the back stitching. She's laughing at me. I love having an audience. So she, the Dark Queen, not my mother, she was actually pretty tricky. This is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, the Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along. They previously did a Dark Queen of the Sea stitch along as a piece, a companion piece. I have not done that one, but it's on my list. I didn't particularly care for the face that they put out. It's a beautiful face. It's gorgeous. It just didn't go along with my aesthetics. So they actually provided an unused face, and they thought that people would use it for parts and pieces. Like if you liked her mouth better, you could use that mouth instead of the other one. Or if you liked maybe her makeup better, you could take that makeup idea. That's what they were intending. But I actually ended up stitching the entire face, and they didn't do any back work with it. It was not back stitched. It was not beaded. It was not designed to fit with the crown that they had. So I actually went on to WinStitch. It was the program for the computer that you have to purchase. And I designed her based off of the unused face that they had released previously. They did release her collar as bright yellow. I have changed some of the colors in this piece. I have added purple flowers. I have added ladybugs. I told you about this last time. I plan to add carrion beetles there, maybe a shoe bill here. I've looked at the back stitching and those pieces should fit. They have a lot of danglies in the back stitching, which are beautiful. They might interfere with some of the critters that I wanted to put in. I wanted to put in like a moth and like a bee somewhere, maybe like here. I don't know. So I am actually still planning her, even though the final piece has been released. Everyone is finishing their projects. I am not, because I am picky. There's a better word for that, but that's the word I got right now. So this is where I'm at with her. You can see I'm working on her collar right now. I was working on her hair, and then I figured out The hair for the unused face was actually not finished either. They didn't finish designing it. They just kind of threw it up there. And honestly, their unfinished design is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. These people are amazing artists. But half of the colors that they used in her unused hair, I didn't have because it didn't come with the kit. Because, of course, it was an unused thing. So I stitched what colors I had, and I will have to make a color run for some of the more empty spots in her hair. The theory behind the hair, it's gonna look a little weird until I figure out how to backstitch it, because there's like this branch growing out of the side of her head on this side, and then her hair is growing up this way. So it might be a bit confusing until I get it all together. I have placed a snake on her in my design. It's going to come off of her shoulder and sit right here. I haven't figured out how to make the head shape quite right. I want it to be like a tree python, a green tree python. They're very, very beautiful snakes. But I know some of you don't like snakes, so I won't talk too much about it. But I just haven't been able to figure out how to get the head shape right, because I've got like 2 squares vertical and like 6 squares horizontal that I'm working with, and that's just kind of difficult to get a viper or python head shape in there. So I'm still working on that, but this is what she looks like now, and I'm really happy with my progress. So I will keep plucking away at her, keep chugging away, keep stitching. All right, my next just regular whip, not whip go, not cross stitch camp, but my regular whip that I want to work on in August. And I'm not a fast stitcher. Some of these pieces are really, really difficult for me, but I keep trying, and that's the important part. Even in all this chaos, you just got to keep trying. I need to finish the Seasons of the Heart by the Blue Flower because it's a Christmas present for my sister. I need to finish them before Christmas. That way we can figure out how we're going to frame them. I thought I would work on the summer piece. I wanted to work on the autumn piece. My favorite season is spring because it starts to warm up. In Alaska, winter is really, really, really long. So when spring comes, I'm like, finally spring. It's spring! I'm so excited. I'm like sitting in the sun when there's snow on the ground still, but I can feel the warmth finally after months of winter. And I love spring. But I found out when I'm stitching seasons, my favorite season to stitch is fall. And I don't know why. It's probably because of the colors. So I wanted to stitch fall. There's a pumpkin, there's sunflowers, there's a cute little hedgehog and an owl. But I'm still in summer. I mean, it's getting to fall. But it's still summer, right? So I gotta finish summer first. So I'm gonna start working on summer. And by the time I'm done with summer, it will actually be fall, if not winter. So this is on my projects for August. Then, see, I got notes. They're nice. I have some new starts. Oh, I'm so excited. So I got happy mail. Happy mail is mail that's happy. In my case, it's cross-stitching supplies. So I got my cross-stitching supplies from FORESTRY for their free mystery stitch along that they're doing right now. The pattern is completely free. If you have your own floss, if you have your own fabric, you can just jump on, download the pattern, and start stitching. And this year they were doing Treasure Island. I'm super, super excited. I love this book, Treasure Island. I'm trying to find someone that loves it too so that I can gift it, because I like giving my projects away. It gives people joy. Neighbor dog is barking. If you didn't notice, we're not touring Alaska today. We are in my mother's living room because I have all of these framed pieces that I didn't want to take any chances with. So Treasure Island came with I bought the called for fabric, and then I bought their special hand-dyed variegated floss. It came like this. Nice little cardboard bobbin with the number right underneath, the Owl Forestry, Owl Forest symbol on it. It's a little owl. And then the floss is variegated, tied up like this. All you have to do is untie this little rope here and plop it off. And then you can open your floss. And it opens just like DMC. It's in a little semicircle that you have to like unwind. And it's so pretty. Such a pretty floss. So then you just put it on the bobbin and you're good to go. So I did that for most of the flosses that I got. And I started my Treasure Island. I keep wanting to call it Treasure Planet. That's one of my favorite movies, Treasure Planet. But anyways, Treasure Island. And I got started on it. And this is the progress that I made. So they really, really love to do like different motifs all around their projects. So they have actually released 7 of the pieces. I don't remember how many pieces there are, like 12 maybe. They release them bi-weekly, which is once every 2 weeks, to clarify. And their next release is tomorrow, and I'm really excited. I shouldn't be, because this is part 1. I just started. But part 8 is coming out tomorrow. What they're doing is so they have like the house that, I think his name was Jim. I can't remember. They have the house that he lived in when they met the pirate. They have like different characters from the story. They have like a sun and a bunch of really pretty additional motifs. They have a blue sky, and they have like Billy Bones, and they have some of the other characters. So I'm really looking forward to stitching more on this. It's really, really fun working with their flosses. Their flosses are amazing. And I told you last time that I'm kind of a rebel. I don't like to do the called for fabric. I don't like it. This is the called for fabric. So she's laughing at me again. So I got out all of my fabric that I thought would work, and I got some beautiful green fabric out. I got fabric kind of like this. I got marbled fabric. And the reason I went with this one is because it looks like parchment. And when you think Treasure Island, you think treasure map, you think X marks the spot. And this fabric really is, it looks like parchment, and I liked that. So we went with the called for fabric, and I'm happy with my choice. I think everything's working out great so far. I did also have a new start for Cross Stitch Camp. This is August 3, and you'll probably be seeing this not August 3. Probably more like August 5 or 6. I did start a new piece for Cross Stitch Camp. This piece is very, very special to me. I'm combining 2 pieces from Etsy that I got. One is an one is an eagle, and one is a memorial for a dad. So we'll show you a picture somewhere. It's a heart, you can see, with an infinity symbol in between, and it's in loving memory. You know, it says dad on the top. This might be a little morbid for some of you, so if you'd rather not think about death, please feel free to fast forward this part. My mom got a special urn for my dad's ashes. It is a wooden urn. It's a square. They had 5 children, and each one of us children get a panel on the sides. There's 4 sides, so 4 of us get a panel on the sides, and then my oldest brother gets the top of the urn. And my sister did a beautiful drawing in memory of my father, and my brother was able to put it on the urn. I think my mom just went to go get it to show you. So one of my brothers did a beautiful drawing on the urn with a wood burner, but the wood burner didn't work quite right, so he went over his drawing with, I think it was pen. He loves colored pencil. See, my mom's the best. This is the urn. I'm sorry, my dad is in here. So my brother loves Hawaii, so he made his theme Hawaii, and the turtles represent our family, and aloha, of course, means family doesn't get left behind. Ohana, I'm sorry, Ohana. From Lilo and Stitch, you know, family, Ohana means family, and family doesn't get left behind, so he made that beautiful memorial piece for my dad. My dad loved the ocean, and so my sister went with that theme. This says family on it. It says family is my anchor. She drew this. She's a very good artist. All of my family is actually very good artists. They are artists. So, my side is probably going to be this one, right? Oh, that is the back. So, my brother did his first, so he claimed this as the front. Although it doesn't really matter. He's very goofy, and I love him. So this is where my side is going. And in order for my cross-stitch piece to fit right here, you can see it's kind of a tight squeeze. I hope you can see. Like that. I had to do it 1/1. I've never done a piece 1/1 before, which is the theme for cross-stitch camp. Getting back to happier subjects. And I'm actually a little bit nervous. I was going to put the eagle in the middle of the heart, but I found out that it won't fit. We double and triple checked it, but we were all wrong. It won't fit. So I'm going to put the eagles on the sides. In the picture you saw, there were doves on the sides. We're going to switch those to eagles because eagles were my dad's favorite. So this is my progress that I've made on that so far. I have put quite a lot, over 200 stitches in. This is over 200 stitches because it is 1/1, one string over one string on the fabric. This fabric is khaki linen fabric, 8x12 from 123stitch.com. So there's my progress from that. I'm actually almost done with this side of the heart. It comes down and has a little branch off here. And then I'm going to start on the other side of the heart. I'm making good progress, and I'm very thankful to be doing this for cross-stitch camp for August. It's very hard to see that. It's really hard to see that. Really hard. So I got this. My dad used one like this. His was very old, and we lost all of the parts for it because these screws all come undone, and my boys like to take things apart. So I ordered a new one just like it. And it makes me look like a little alien or a bug. And I put it on just like this. And then I have to hold the fabric up here. And it actually works really well. This moves up and down so I can look at my pattern. And then my fabric. And then my pattern. And my fabric. And it leaves a really funny line on the top of my forehead. But this is actually a really, really cool thing to have if you need to see the fabric. It came with 4 different magnifying types. The strongest being 3.5. This one I'm currently using is a 2.5, and it works just fine for this 1/1 on 36 count. So this is on Amazon. I got it on Amazon Prime Day, so I got it for like $15 maybe. There are more expensive ones, and there are cheaper ones, and there are different style ones. I like these ones. If you just look on Amazon and look up magnifying, what was it? Head magnifier, magnifying goggles, something like that. You should be able to find them. They're really handy, and they're helping me with my cross-stitch camp project. So those are my new starts. I wanted to show you my Bestitch Me fabric of the month. I got it, and it's beautiful. So previously I had told you guys about, this is the, oh, I'm sorry. If you don't want to be surprised and have not received your Bestitch Me fabric of the month yet, please turn away now. Okay, so, I'm sorry. So, this one is called Glacier, and previously I told you guys about the hot air balloon one that I wanted to do. I think it's like 100 hot air balloons. I don't remember. We'll put it back up, like here or something. So I wanted to do it on that beautiful orange fabric that I got a few months ago, but I think this would actually be much, much better as long as it's big enough, because this way is kind of small. So maybe it would fit this way. I don't know. We're going to have to find that out. But this is Glacier. It was my color fabric of the month club for Bestitch Me, and I love it. It says Glacier, but it reminds me more of like the sky. I guess I can see ice in there, fractals and stuff. Pretty cool. So, as always, Bestitch Me fabric really impresses me. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form other than I am a part of their fabric of the month. And I really love it. I'm getting a lot of fabric in my stash that I know that I will use eventually. This was the Neutral Club Fabric of the Month for Bestitch Me. I love how they name their fabrics. This fabric is lightly salted, not roasted color. Makes me laugh. So it's a nice neutral color. This will be useful for a lot of different projects. Don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. Even if I did, I'd probably change my mind, so it's fine. Isn't that pretty? Pretty fabrics. And while I am on cross-stitch supplies, I've shown you my head magnifier, and I've shown you my fabrics of the month. I wanted to show you my favorite scissors. These are my favorite cross-stitching scissors. I have lost them many times, and I have found them many times. I got these in a cross-stitching box that I got. It was one of those stitching, I don't remember. It was really expensive, and I decided I'm not that fancy of a cross-stitcher, so I haven't gotten any more of their boxes. They were really good quality, though, and this game is a surprise. It's one of those boxes you get one bag for each day of the month, and you can open it each day of the month or all at once or however you want to do it. I do not have the patience to open them each day of the month, so I always open them all at once, and I got these scissors in one of the boxes. This is Premax embroidery scissors, made in Italy. Ooh, fancy. And I looked it up, and you can get them on Amazon. They're $30 to $38. They've got this really cool curved edge. It curves right here. And it makes it really easy to get close to the fabric, and they're very sharp, and it makes it easy to cut floss off and everything. This is a scissor fob that I got, and I can't remember where. It was either in one of those boxes or it was on Etsy. And it's a little bee, and this makes me smile. It helps me keep track of my scissors because I see this dangling. And it makes me smile because my sister's name means honeybee. And so every single time I grab my cross-stitching scissors, I think of her. Isn't that nice? All right, that is the end of my floss tube. I'm going to double check that I got everything that I wanted to. You should see my area. It's like, and it's like this every time, every single time for the last 3 times. So I did mention last time that I was going to do a whip parade in 2 weeks, and obviously that did not happen. This is next month already. We had a lot going on. This is kind of my life review thing. My boys went off to summer camp for the first time together. I told you about it last time because they were gone when I made my video. Then we did a camp meeting, which is a bunch of people from our church get together for seminars and sermons, and we all can camp. We have that opportunity. They have cabins at our campgrounds, and we tent camped with the boys. That did not turn out well. My 2-year-old did not like tent camping. The first night it rained. He was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he kept looking at the top of the tent going, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" And I said, "It's the rain. Just go to sleep." And then I think we tent camped for 4 nights, and 2 of those 4 nights he had to be taken home, which was fine. We were like 5 minutes away from home, so that was fine. I stayed with the boys camping. My husband went home to sleep in the nice, warm, comfy bed at home with our toddler. So that was really busy. And then I had to do a sermon for our church. I didn't have to. I was privileged to do a sermon for our church. My pastor recently went on sabbatical, and we're doing a whole series. And that took up all of my time. And so that's finished. And we're not camping anymore, and so I finally had time to do a floss tube. I'm so excited that you're here, you're watching. Thank you for showing up. I hope everything was more organized this time. My mom, she's so sweet. I had this really, she calls it hand decorated. This is my boys for when they color, of course. And she helped me get these clipboards and lay everything out so that it was nice and organized. And I feel like I'm a traitor to my floss tube name now because it's not chaotic today. I don't know what to do. But I'm super thankful. I hope you enjoy the floss tube. I hope that you will see me again next time. As always, this world is chaotic. Don't let it get you down. Keep on stitching. Keep your chin up. even in all this chaos. Goodbye!